Why slow walking burns more fat than fast walking? You've probably felt it before. You go out for a walk, and halfway through you think, I should speed up. If I walk faster, I'll burn more fat. It sounds logical. More effort equals more results. More intensity equals more calories burned. That's what we've been told for decades. But here's something that may completely change how you see walking. Sometimes walking slower burns more fat than walking fast. And if you've been pushing your pace, sweating harder, trying to make it count, yet your belly fat refuses to change, you are not failing. You're not lazy. You're not broken. And your metabolism is not defective. You may simply be sending the wrong signal to your body. Because fat loss is not just about movement. It's about what your brain believes that movement means. Most people think fat burning is controlled by effort. The harder you go, the more you burn. If your heart rate is high, if you're breathing heavily, if you feel tired afterward, then it must be working. But your body doesn't see effort the way you do. Your body sees stress, and stress changes everything. When you suddenly walk fast, especially if you're already stressed, rushed, or thinking about work, your nervous system interprets that speed as urgency. It doesn't matter that you chose to walk quickly. Biologically, urgency feels similar to threat. Your brain has one primary job, survival. And survival means protecting energy, especially belly fat. From an evolutionary standpoint, fat stored around your organs is emergency fuel. It exists to keep you alive during famine, illness, or prolonged hardship. Your body doesn't casually release it just because you want to look leaner. It releases it when conditions feel stable. Slow walking creates stability. Fast walking often creates alarm. Inside your body, there are two major systems that influence fat burning during movement: your nervous system and your hormonal system. When you walk slowly at a relaxed pace, your breathing stays steady. You can hold a conversation. Your shoulders are not tense. Your jaw is relaxed. Your heart rate rises gently but doesn't spike. This state activates what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, sometimes known as rest and digest mode. In this state, your body feels safe. When your body feels safe, it becomes willing to use stored energy. Fat cells receive hormonal signals, allowing them to release fatty acids into your bloodstream. Your muscles begin oxidizing those fats inside mitochondria. This is what people call the fat-burning zone, but it's not about a specific number on your watch. It's about your internal state. Now compare that to fast walking. Your stride length increases. Your breathing becomes heavier. Your heart rate climbs faster. If you're pushing to maintain pace, your nervous system shifts towards sympathetic mode, often called fight or flight. In that state, your body prioritizes quick energy. Quick energy means glucose. Blood sugar is faster to access than fat, so your body uses it first. This is efficient for performance, but not optimal for long-term fat loss. You may burn more calories overall during fast walking, but a larger percentage of those calories can come from glucose rather than fat. And here's the part most people miss. After fast walking, especially if cortisol rises significantly, your body may replenish glucose stores aggressively, sometimes increasing hunger later. Slow walking, on the other hand, doesn't create the same hormonal rebound. The real villain in this story is not speed, it's cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone, but calling it bad would be misleading. It keeps you alert. It mobilizes energy. It helps you respond to challenge. The problem is chronic elevation. If you already have a demanding job, limited sleep, mental stress, or irregular eating patterns, your baseline cortisol may already be elevated. When you add intense movement on top of that, even if it's just brisk walking, cortisol can rise further. When cortisol is elevated, your body becomes protective with belly fat. Visceral fat tissue is particularly sensitive to cortisol signals. High cortisol encourages fat storage around the midsection and discourages its release. So if you're walking fast while stressed, your body may interpret the session as additional demand, not as safe metabolic activity. Slow walking lowers cortisol instead of raising it. Studies show that gentle, rhythmic movement reduces stress hormones and improves insulin sensitivity. It calms the nervous system. It stabilizes blood sugar rather than spiking it. In other words, slow walking sends the message, we are safe. Fast walking can sometimes send the message, prepare for challenge. Your body responds differently to each. There's another layer to this. Fat oxidation. The process of burning fat for fuel requires oxygen. It is an aerobic process. The more your breathing becomes strained, the more your body shifts toward using carbohydrate metabolism to sustain output. Slow walking keeps you comfortably aerobic. Fast walking can push some people closer to anaerobic thresholds, especially if they are deconditioned or overweight. In anaerobic states, fat burning decreases relative to carbohydrate use. This doesn't mean fast walking is bad. It simply means that if your primary goal is reducing belly fat and improving metabolic health, slower, sustained walking may be more strategic. Especially in the beginning. Especially if your nervous system is already overloaded. Think of your metabolism like a cautious gatekeeper. It opens the gate to stored fat when it believes the environment is stable and predictable. Slow walking creates rhythm. Rhythm signals safety. Safety lowers cortisol. Lower cortisol permits fat release. Fast walking can create variability. Variability can trigger alertness. Alertness keeps the gate partially closed. You are not trying to defeat your body. You are trying to convince it. And conviction requires calm repetition. So what should you actually do? Start your walks slower than your ego wants. If you feel the urge to speed up immediately, resist it for the first 10 to 15 minutes. Allow your breathing to settle. Keep your mouth closed and breathe through your nose if possible. Let your arms swing loosely. Avoid checking stressful notifications. You should be able to speak in full sentences without gasping. If you wear a heart rate monitor, aim for a moderate range, often around 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. But more important than numbers is sensation. Ask yourself, do I feel calm? After 20 to 30 minutes at this steady pace, your body is often more deeply engaged in fat oxidation than during a shorter, faster walk. Duration plus calm equals metabolic cooperation. You can still include faster intervals occasionally if your body tolerates them well. But they should not replace the foundation of relaxed, rhythmic walking, especially if belly fat is stubborn. The goal is not exhaustion. The goal is permission. If you've been walking fast every day and seeing little change around your midsection, it does not mean walking doesn't work. It may mean your nervous system never felt safe enough to release stored energy. Your body is not resisting you. It is protecting you. Belly fat is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of caution. When you slow down, you are not doing less. You are aligning with your biology. You are lowering stress signals. You are improving insulin sensitivity. You are encouraging your body to access stored fuel without triggering defense mechanisms. And over time, That calm consistency changes everything. Fat loss is not a punishment for effort. It is a reward for balance. Slow walking teaches your body that energy can be released without danger. And once your body learns that lesson, it stops holding on so tightly. You don't need to fight your metabolism. You need to reassure it. Sometimes the fastest way to burn more fat is to slow down. And when you finally understand that, walking stops being a workout you endure. It becomes a signal your body trusts. And trust is what unlocks change.